Welcome everybody, it's
The
R.O.T.N.
R.O.T.N.
Oddcast. I'm Famine.
I'm Professor Whiteheat.
For today's episode, we chose the comic book
Pop Kill.
number 3, written by Dave Johnson and Jimmy Palmiotti, with art by Juan Santa Cruz on Mad Cave Studios. The cover is right here. And it's about basically a rival soda pop company hiring agents to infiltrate the other to find out their secret. And also, it has cars on the cover.
Which brings us to today's topic, which is
Cars, Part
3. Now let's get into our first song. This is Gary Newman with
Cars.
Let's get into our first subject, movies about cars. And since the last two episodes were the 50s through the 70s, this time it's all about the 80s, starting off with The Hearse from 1980.
Before Christine, it was
The Hearse. It's a ghost car, a
Not
car
really, but,
possessed by some sort of spirit.
Right.
Yes, well, that
Kind of
happens.
like
Herbie Goes Bananas
Yeah,
from
exactly.
1980.
Once again,
Herbie
back.
still making movies about Herbie. You can't stop Disney. They're
you
just
can't stop the love bug.
no, you certainly can't. Someone else you can't stop is Smokey and the Bandit Part 2. We got into Part 1 last time.
Yeah.
That's
Love
from
Smokey.
1980 as well.
Yep.
We also have King of the Mountain from 1981. Cannonball Run from 1981.
Love Cannonball Run.
Absolutely. Firebird 2015 AD, which was like Mad Max.
Yes.
But it starred the dad from Christmas Story.
Yep.
So that's something else.
Yep.
Speaking of Mad Max, there's Mad Max Road Warriors from 1981.
From 1982, Running on Empty. We have Battle Truck from 1982. Ferret Vampire. Junkman 1982. Christine from 1983. Again, we talked about
Stephen King
possessed cars,
vehicles,
Stephen
yeah.
King vehicles. Yeah. DC Cab from 1983, starring
Mr. T.
Mr. T.
It's a classic.
Yep. Amazing. We have Midnight Spares from 1983. Sahara from 1983. Smokey and the Bandit 3. Now let's get into our second song of the episode. This is going to be The Normal with Warm Leatherette.
Warm leatherette. Warm leatherette. Warm leatherette. Warm leatherette. See the breaking glass in the underpass. See the breaking glass in the underpass. Warm leatherette. Warm leatherette. Warm leatherette. Warm leatherette. Hear the crushing steel. Feel the steering wheel. Hear the crushing steel. Feel the steering wheel. Warm leatherette. 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 Melt on your burning flesh. You can see your reflection in the luminescent dash. Warm leatherette. Warm leatherette. Warm leatherette. Warm leatherette. A tear of petrol is in your eye. The handbrake penetrates your thigh. Quick, let's make love before you die. On warm leatherette. On warm leatherette. Warm leatherette. Warm leatherette. Warm leatherette. Warm leatherette. Warm leatherette. Join the car crash set.
Cannonball Run Part 2 from 1984. Gosh, they made a lot of those movies. Cannonball Run.
Great.
And Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
Those kind of movies were very popular in the
late 70s,
early 80s. It was a huge deal.
Yep.
Not
Not
as
a huge deal.
Repo Man from 1985.
Yeah, dude.
Have a nice
Punks. Yeah.
night.
Or everything is like a specific name. Like toilet paper is called toilet paper.
Dude, that is one of
the beer is called beer.
Dude, the generic brand
Yeah.
is represented so well
I know.
in that movie.
It's amazing.
There's so many good parts of Repo Man.
I know.
A+. One of the best movies of the decade.
Yeah, dude.
One of my favorite movies involving cars.
Great performances too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But dude, you know what? Like I said, I really like the second Mad Max movie.
My favorite is
We Don't Need Another Hero,
Yeah, dude.
We Don't Need
Tina
Another
Turner.
Hero. Yeah, killing it. Wheels of Fire, also from 1985. Transformers the movie from 1986.
And watch your favorite Transformers die.
Yeah, outrageous.
Tragic.
Maximum Overdrive from 1986.
Hey,
Now,
are you a fan of Green Goblin?
dude, you know that's what's so
And
crazy about
truck
that.
drivers?
That is never explained. Why is it Green Goblin on the front of the truck? And the best part of that movie, there's so many good parts in that movie, but my favorite part is the part with him at the beginning.
Right.
Where he's getting money out of the ATM and the ATM calls him an asshole.
Yeah. Yep.
And he's like, this machine just called me an asshole.
I know.
No, the best part is the part with the bridge at the very beginning. That part is amazing. Like that whole scene, the whole movie is great,
Right.
but that scene particularly, very well done.
Right.
Yeah, I loved it, and the whole movie, great, excellent movie.
Check it out, everybody. Maximum Overdrive
Yeah.
if you haven't already. 1986.
From 1986, there was The Gladiator,
Not to be confused
with Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe, but it was a
Car
person
movie.
in a car, getting revenge. There's so many car revenge theme movies in the late 70s and early 80s.
I think it's because it's like a powerful weapon.
Yeah.
You're behind the wheel.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of revenge, Rolling Vengeance from 1987.
Another kind of like battle truck. It's a person who is a truck driver. Low budget Canadian Ned Beatty, Rolling Vengeance.
What do you have to say about Equalizer 2000?
1987.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yeah.
License to Drive.
And Heather Graham?
Yeah. Young Heather Graham. That movie is fantastic.
It is, actually.
It's real. And Uncle Phil.
Yep.
Uncle Phil is in that movie. Catch Me If You Can from
The
1989. Not related to the Steven Spielberg.
Nope.
Pink Cadillac from 1989. Speed Zone from 1989.
All right, what about famous movie cars like the DeLorean from Back to the Future? Speaking of which,
there was a really cool car that could travel through time. But in the movie Back to the Future, you might remember Biff's car, the Ford Deluxe.
that got the manure on it.
And this, I don't know what Hot Wheels was thinking. They're like, why don't we just make a Hot Wheel with poop? Like with poop on it.
It is the most ridiculous idea.
Yes,
but they made it.
This is available here at Phat Collectables if you want to come on down and pick it up.
If you're really
It's
into shit.
only $10. I love manure. Just kidding.
It's a funny scene.
It's a great.
Yeah.
I can't believe they made a toy of that.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving right along.
We have Ecto-1. Shout out to Subspecies Mitsubishi.
Absolutely.
From Ghostbusters. The Batmobile, of course, from Batman. And there's so many different versions of the Batmobile. What was your favorite out of all of them?
My favorite one out of all of them is one that doesn't exist.
Oh, okay.
I want to see a Batmobile that is a Transformer. Still waiting.
Yep.
Still waiting to see such a thing. Hope they make it someday. But if I had to pick the ones that do exist, I would have to go with... It's a tie. It's a tie between Michael Keaton and Adam West's Batmobiles. Those two are too good.
Now, okay, so I was listening to, I listened to the R.O.T.N podcast, our podcast that we did before
This.
the YouTube channel. And
Hence why the show is called the R.O.T.N
Oddcast.
Did we ever talk about that?
Yeah, in the very first episode we did.
Anyways.
Yeah, so Professor Wahi and I, along with our cohorts, Subspecies Mitsubishi, Dr. Slice, Videotape Weasel, and a couple of other cameos and guest appearances, we had our own podcast, which you can still listen to now on your favorite place where you listen to your podcast. If you want to see any of our old stuff, or listen to, not see, but listen to our old stuff, you could check it out. It's called the R.O.T.N podcast. And anyways, we talked about the Batmobile.
Uh-huh.
and we talked about the 80s Michael Keaton Batmobile.
Yes.
And we talked about the toy of the Batmobile
Okay.
and how it came with a shield
Oh, that went over it.
that went over it, and your journey of how you came about the shield.
Yep. Because I never there was like 2 versions of it, and the version that I had didn't come with that shield. And then I found one, and I was very excited to find one with the shield, because the shield was made of like a really thin plastic
and it looks like it could rip in a second.
Yeah, it was very flimsy, so it could
And it would just fit right over
the Batmobile.
And it's supposed to like
Batman, he goes like shield.
Yeah, they go.
Yeah.
And so they made a part of that for the toy.
Yeah. I got a pin, and then it's like a metal pin. It's really big. It's like too big to wear.
Okay.
But it's that device.
Oh, that's
that he
amazing.
uses. And
Wow.
it like it's cool too. Like there's a little bat symbol on it, and you push the bat symbol up, and the little microphone comes out of the top.
Wow. That's a
Shields.
very intricate pin.
I'm telling you.
Wow.
Anyways,
and you said the Adam West Batmobile? Yeah, classic.
did you ever see it was a comic that Alex Ross did called Justice, and there was a part where the Metal Men combined with the Justice League members, and like Batman mixed with the Metal Men, his costume looked like the Batmobile, like 60s Batmobile.
Amazing.
Like the symbol
pinstripe and
with the red
everything.
stripes
Yeah,
on
right,
it,
right.
and the symbol looked like the symbol that's on like the
Right,
hubcaps.
right,
It was
right.
amazing. I was like,
Wow.
that is one of the best Alex Ross designs I've ever seen. And they did
Amazing.
make a toy of that.
They did?
They made a figure of that. Yes, they
Wow.
did. They made a figure of like everything from that comic. It's called Justice.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Anyways, speaking of gorgeous, we have Elvira's car from Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Her car is sick.
Amazing, right?
The spiderweb grill and
Dude, the chain steering wheel, that's a pentagram.
awesome.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And then we have, after that, we have the Ferrari from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Very famous, the whole...
Sure was.
Concept
You
of
gotta
the, car.
throw it in reverse.
Yep. All right, we have the jet car from Buckaroo Banzai.
Peter
Amazing.
Weller.
Yep. We have the Mistmobile from Kick-Ass 2.
It
Remember?
looked cool. It
Yeah.
was a cool looking car.
We have the Mirthmobile from Wayne's World.
Oh, that car was amazing. It was a Pacer
Yep.
modified.
Yep.
With a licorice dispenser.
Amazing.
In the roof.
Speaking of modified cars, we have the Mutz Cuts van from Dumb and Dumber. Remember that?
Of course.
Yeah.
How could I forget?
We have Go Grease Lightning from Grease. We have
Oh
Grease
my.
Lightning.
Yeah. The transparent hood.
Yep. And then we have the Pussy Wagon from Kill Bill. Remember?
Of course.
Yeah.
It was in a Lady Gaga music video.
It was, really. Let's get into our third track. This is Cameras in Cars with
Time Room.
Scarcely believe the sight it was beholding. Glass case and still action was slowly revolving, and the premature darkness of the Thursday sky reflected from the window to the retina of the eye. Done exactly with nature, with a tiny little mind, and I place you in a time room where you watch us start to wind. That fix you on your position in a transient phantom zone. It's not nothing more in the time room. When you find you're on your own. Located this position with a new digital accuracy that counts more like a whipping top, centrifugal energy, a ricochet of rivets, it's got a thrust into his mind, a blazing beam of light appeared to emphasize the find. Done exactly with nature, with a tiny little mind, I have placed you in a time room where you watch us start to wind, that fix on your position in a transient phantom zone, it's not nothing more in a time room. When you find you're on your own. Life is unreal. Life is unreal. Life is unreal, it's time room. Life is unreal. Life is unreal. Life is unreal time.
Let's talk about video games about cars. Starting off with Night Driver from 1976. Pole Position from 1980.
Pole Position.
And then there was a Pole Position animated series that didn't really have anything to do with the game, but whatever, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, we talked about it in the last episode if you want to
Check that out.
Yeah.
There was Pit Stop from 1983. Was that a arcade?
Atari.
That was an Atari game.
Yeah.
Okay,
A lot of these
okay.
are Atari games.
I
Like,
don't. Spy Hunter.
Hunter?
Spy Hunter was an arcade game. I
yeah,
thought.
but then Atari had it. as well.
I see. Outrun from 1986.
Yep.
That was another like is that you're in a convertible, right?
Yep.
In Outrun, yeah, I remember that one. And then there was Rad Racer from 1987.
That was on the SNES.
Yep, I remember
And
that.
it was like a red Ferrari.
NES.
NES, rather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
NES. And then there
NES.
was Road
Road
Blasters from 1987, which was also cool, where you
Yep.
actually shot at the other cars.
Right.
And then there was Chase HQ from 1988. RC Pro-Am, which was an NES game.
Mini cars you can
Yeah,
control.
yep, from 1988. And then there was Super Off-Road from 1989, which I do really like that game.
Me too.
That was an arcade game, and there was 4 steering wheels.
Yep, and it was like a track of big
on, like,
trucks.
big trucks and
Yeah.
like a dirt
Yep,
track.
that
Yeah.
was so cool.
That was a good one.
We also have Rock and Roll Racing from 1993, and then we have like the early PlayStation games. We have Gran Turismo,
Yeah, I remember that.
and then your favorite game of all time,
Grand Theft Auto.
Vigilante 8 from 1997. Now, do you remember the commercial for it?
I do not.
It was like a bus
Remind
that
me.
crashes into a school, and these 2 girls are like, "Holy shit!"
What?
You remember that?
No.
Oh, dude, it was the best commercial at that time.
Wow, I don't remember that at all. But I
and
do
then-
remember this one.
Crazy Taxi. Now,
All-time favorite arcade game.
we do apologize. So, in doing the research of this, as soon as I looked up Crazy Taxi, all these taxi themed subjects that we forgot in the previous episode
Oh, like that's why you got DC Cab.
came
But
flushing back
what
to me.
about
What about you talking to me? You must be talking to me.
I know you're not. We're not talking about Taxi
Taxi
Driver.
Driver, man.
We're not talking about
We totally fucked
Robert
up.
De Niro and freaking
Jodie Foster.
and Harvey Keitel
Yeah, dude.
and
One of the best
Martin
movies
Scorsese's
ever.
like greatest movie.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. You know, we fucked up. And then Taxi, the TV show.
Taxi the TV
Andy
show. First of
Kaufman.
all, Taxi the TV show has one of the best theme songs.
Right.
It's like smooth jazz.
Right.
Smooth jazz intro. And some of the most
Almost right
interesting
up there with
and
the,
unique
Frasier,
characters.
theme song,
yeah,
yeah.
it's really good.
I know how much your brother loves the Frasier.
I
theme
know
song.
he does love that one, but I love Taxi, and yeah, shame on both of us for
I know.
not thinking.
Sorry
of it.
about that. And then, last but not least, if you're a clown driving
Yeah.
a fucking ice cream truck, we have Twisted Metal
One
from
of the-
2012.
Dude, that game was so iconic.
What was the name of the clown?
Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth. Yeah, that's right.
Sweet Tooth was the clown's name. So we talked famous movie cars, but what about famous comic book cars? Like the Fantastic Car, which technically really isn't a car at all,
Right.
but you know, it does have car in the name.
And it had different versions of it.
There's been so many varieties of the Fantastic Car over the years, it's kind of crazy. It'd be like, how many different versions of the Batmobile are there?
Correct.
There's a lot of Fantastic Car variations
Correct.
over the years, but I think like the key feature of the Fantastic Car that it splits into 4
Yeah.
separate vehicles.
And it's more of like a hovercraft than a car.
car, yeah.
But it was called the Fantastic
the
Car.
yeah. Even though it really wasn't a car.
Right.
Anyways, the Fantastic Hovercraft just doesn't roll off the
Catching.
tongue. Yeah.
As the Fantastic Car.
But speaking of cars, what about the T-Car from the Teen Titans? Which I think that
We
has
mentioned
also,
before.
We mentioned before, but now I think that has probably had a lot of versions.
Different versions, yeah.
Green Hornet had a really cool car. It was called the Black Beauty. But last but not least is the Spider Buggy. Over the years, they've brought the Spider Buggy back. The first time it ever came back that I remember seeing was in the Old Man Logan comic. It was
okay.
the Spider Buggy specifically came back, and
How funny.
But there was they've been doing over the last couple of years. They've been doing these Spider-Verse miniseries.
Right. Yeah.
And one of them was a story about Spider Buggy.
Really?
And Spider Buggy came from a world where everything was a car. It was like Cars, like the Disney movie.
Amazing.
Now on to our last song. It's going to be Le Trim with The Cars That Go Boom.
But before we get into that, we want to say once again thanks to Phat Collectables for letting us film here. Thanks to Squelch, aka Explode, for drawing our logo. And thanks to you for watching.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing. Leave a comment, and if we missed any other car-related whatever...
maybe we might do another part. I don't know.
We love cars so much, we never even talked about Fast and Furious.
Well, that's what you know what I'm saying.
We never talked about that.
We might do a 90s to 2000s.
But maybe not for another year or so, because
yeah,
I know we were
I don't
card
know.
out.
I'm too card out, yeah.
Carmageddon.
Kardashian.
Kardashians.
Yeah, I'm Kardashianed out.
Kardashians through the windshield coming 2016.
Yep, exactly.
2016, 2026.
Yep. No, it's the Kardashians are a TV series on the Cars land. The Cars.
The Kardashians.
But they're actually cars, yeah. The
well, yeah, it's sort of the Kardashians.
Of course. Anyways.
I can see Paradise by the Kardashians light. That's what I think.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Of course. Peace.
So many kinds, where can we start?
We like them dumb and we like them smart.
I like the ones with the pretty eyes.
Well, I like all kinds of guys.
Stop.
What happened?
How about the ones we especially like?
Which ones?
You know, the ones with the cars that go.
I hear you. Hit it.
It was me and the posse with Bunny D. We were cruising in the Jags or the Lamborghinis when lo and behold, there appeared a mirage. He was hooking up a car in his daddy's garage. We stopped short, did a double take. He was looking so fly, I thought I wasn't awake. He was obviously hooking up bass, I assumed, but then he turned the little button and the car went boom.
We like the cars that go boom. We're Tigra and Bunny and we like the boom. We like the cars that go boom. We're Tigra and Bunny and we like the boom. We like them short and we like them tall. We like them one and we like them all. They're always adding speakers when they find the room, 'cause they know we love the guys with the cars that go boom. And see, my boyfriend really knows where it's at. He's got 50-inch woofers all along the back. He makes a comment on going to my room, but I'd rather stay out with his car that goes boom. We like the cars that go boom. We're Tigra and Bunny and we like the boom. We like the cars that go boom. We're Tigra and Bunny and we like the boom.
Oh shit! That's with
Exactly.
the manure, I know.